Good afternoon, my name is Karli Foster.
I'm Christian Easley.
I'm Rosetta Hairston.
And this summer, we were tasked by the Harvest Foundation to conduct a research project to see what young professionals want Martinsville-Henry County to do. So this is our final presentation, and let's get started. So in order to conduct this study, we first researched and analyzed the demographics of Martinsville-Henry County, and then we developed team and individual goals to make sure that we stayed on track and got our work done and had like a good conclusion in the end. We also decided to focus on young professionals aged 16 to 30 because we thought that this is the age group we want to attract back to Martinsville-Henry County because it's a broad age group, but we think that they have the most stake in these decisions. And we decided to split those up into different age groups, as in 16 to 20, 21 to 25, and 26 to 30, because those are all three different age groups and they have a lot of different things going on in their lives at that time. And we also did two methods of data collection. We did in-person interviews, so we did that with the different age groups, and we also created an online survey that was anonymous so we could gain even more perspectives and data. And then we analyzed our data to develop a strategic plan. So we did, like I said before, we did two methods of data collection, the in-person interview and the anonymous survey. We wanted to do this because we thought that the in-person interviews could give us a little bit more in-depth data and we could kind of understand and have that one-on-one contact and knowledge of what those people are actually thinking, and then the survey to just get more perspectives and also just back up that in-person interview data.
And we're going to talk about the in-person interviews first. And how we went about contacting people was probably through Facebook, Instagram, word of mouth, text messages, Snapchat, emails, and Harvest staff. And we based it off of the age, ethnicity, and high school. And we did high school so the whole county would be accounted for, so no one would be left out. And the interview participants, we contacted 97 and we interviewed 34. And it was about half for the 16 to 20 that we got to interview, 26% for 21 to 25, and about a third for 26 to 30. And here is where, well, on the interview side is the number of people who came in, we got to interview. And here's just the graph of the ethnicities and the people where they went to high school at and their age. And this is for the same thing through each age group. Excuse me.
So starting off with the 16 through 20 interview data, we asked them about 20 questions. And here are just some questions that we thought were interesting. Starting with, do you feel there are enough opportunities in MHC? We had 5 people to say yes and 9 people to say no. Okay, what opportunities are we missing? We had 7 people to say modern jobs and 2 people to say youth activities. Would you want to come back to MHC? As you can see, 8 people said yes and 5 people said no, and we had 4 people to say no. When visiting other cities and towns, what are you most attracted to? We had 7 people to say modern jobs, and 3 people said their family is what attracts them to the community, and 4 people said opportunities to give back to the community attracts them. Just some interesting commentary from some of our questions. The question is, if you could have anything added to Martinsville-Henry County, what would it be? Think outside the box. So someone said arena, maybe like centrally located, where we could host multiple events. Another person said just simply somewhere where youth can hang out. And we had a sports complex answer and a safari park. And another answer that we got that was interesting, we had special needs park and renovated old buildings to become art museums. More commentary. Do you feel there are enough opportunities in your area? A lot of people said there are enough educational opportunities, but not enough entertainment opportunities in the 16 through 23.
So for the 21 and 25-year-old interview data, we asked them again around 20 questions, and some of the questions that we added specifically for this age group were, do you feel that there are many diverse individuals around your age in Martinsville-Henry County? What type of housing would you like to live in? What would you like your living environment to feel and be like? What are your perceptions of childcare in Martinsville-Henry County? And what do you think about the nightlife in Henry County, Martinsville-Henry County, and what would you like to see? So this question was, if you could have anything added to Martinsville-Henry County, what would it be? A lot of people said stores and businesses. They wanted things to do. Was a lot of things that we heard was just things to do. And also modern and affordable housing, economic growth, and nightlife. Oh, also an interesting thing here was a program to acclimate new community members, so somewhere that new community members could go for a resource. This is a really interesting one. So 75% of our interview participants in the age group 21 to 25 said that they would not like to come back to Martinsville-Henry County. We think that this could be because most of this age group went off to college and they kind of saw that they were exposed to other things. So right now that might not be what they're interested in, but they might go back eventually, hopefully, if our project goes well. Some commentary from interviews too, where do you feel that there are enough opportunities in your area, and if not, what are we missing? A lot of people said that we have really good programs, like educational programs, again, like ACE, Governor School Seed program, and that's not always found in other communities. And another person said that we don't have enough opportunities, and we need better quality jobs that offer more professional opportunities to grow. And another thing, job diversity. They said that we lack job diversity.
And for the 26 to 30 interview data, we asked the same 20 questions as we did for 21 to 25 and 16 to 20. But the ones we asked different were, do the jobs in Martinsville-Henry County align with the type of jobs you're looking for? Do you feel like there's many diverse individuals around your age in Martinsville-Henry County? How do you feel about salaries in Martinsville-Henry County? And the questions we asked were, what opportunities are we missing? And the one most was social opportunities for adults, like, I guess, nightlife and going out to do adult activities. And the least was opportunities for individuals with postgraduate education. Another question is, what is your perception of childcare in MHC? A lot of people said not enough providers, and the other said unaware, and another one said too expensive. When visiting other cities and towns, what are you most attracted to? The most was a tie with entertainment and retails and restaurants, which align with the same thing, and others were accepting community and beautification. And
so for the anonymous survey, we had 220 participants, and the demographics of the survey participants were pretty spread out, and we were really excited about that because the biggest age group was 21 to 25, but that was also the middle age group, so we were happy about that. For the level of education attained, we had pretty diverse here too. We had some interesting, 24 people had higher education, above bachelor's degree, and one person actually went to trade school, so we were glad that we reached that group. High school attended, we had really diverse answers here, and we also had 13 other people that went to schools from anywhere from Texas to Nova or Northern Virginia, all over the place. So that was really cool to see what people from outside of our community answered on our survey. Most of the people did work in Martinsville-Henry County, and most of the people did live in Martinsville-Henry County currently. There were many different careers, pretty spread out there, so we were happy about that. And that pretty much matched the careers of the community too. When we did the initial part of our research project to see the demographic of the community, that pretty much matched it.
So here's just a question that we asked them, and we rated the question. Well, we asked the participants, to rate the question from 1 to 5, 1 being the worst and 5 being the best. So the question is, rate the job opportunities in Martinsville-Henry County, and we had 32 participants to say, I guess they're not so good, and 5 to say that they're really good. Same thing with the previous question. This question is, are there enough retail, restaurants, and entertainment options in Martinsville-Henry County? And we had 65 participants to say no. How do you feel about housing offered within Martinsville-Henry County? We had 88 right there in the middle. I guess not too bad, not too good. 17 at the worst, and 14 at the best. Another question we asked them, what would you change about the housing options in Martinsville-Henry County? We had a big percentage of people said there should be more modern and cheaper options. Safety was something that popped up, and higher quality.
So for the survey, we also looked at trends between the demographics of the people who completed our survey and the answers of the questions on our survey. So one trend that we did see was when we looked at the question, could you see yourself having a lifelong career in Martinsville-Henry County, based on the different professions, the only 3 professions that had more people say yes than no were education, public service, and public safety. And a really stunning one to us was that the health, business, and service fields had most people saying no over yes. So this was a really interesting trend that we thought could really be used to kind of shape the way we look at jobs in Martinsville-Henry County and how give insight into what young professionals think about the different fields in Martinsville-Henry County. Another trend we looked at was, could you see yourself having a lifelong career in Martinsville-Henry County based on their age? So like we did before, we looked at the same question based on their age group. Most 26 to 30-year-olds said yes, and 16 to 20-year-olds said no. So that's kind of interesting. It literally went up by age group, and then the same way it was the opposite for no. So you can see that by the age group. For the question, how do you feel about housing offered within Martinsville-Henry County by their age group? The older you got, 1 was not good, 5 was overwhelmingly good. So the 16 to 20-year-olds and the 21 to 25-year-olds were pretty similar around the board. 26 to 30-year-olds rated it a lot lower than other age groups. Most of them said rated as 1, and it's the same length of age groups here.
So we came up with 4 important priorities based off of our data. 1 being housing, we had entertainment, modern jobs, and beautification and upkeep. We have no in order of importance with our priorities, because we figured if we prioritize 1, then the others will get neglected. So starting with housing, a lot of what we heard in our data and interviews was that people wanted modern housing, and this was basically apartments, townhouses that were centrally located and affordable for low class, middle class, and also that had amenities like pools, gyms, and also they said that they wanted it to be pet friendly.
Yeah, centrally located was a big thing. They wanted their housing to be near all the resources and entertainment options in the community, and they said that we don't really have that right now.
So another priority we have is modern jobs. What they meant by modern jobs is basically jobs that young professionals are attracted to when they first get out of college with their degrees. So, like I said, we have college degree jobs, competitive salaries, more jobs in the technology field, and more work from home jobs, just because they're more convenient for young professionals.
They also wanted jobs that aren't your traditional, like I said, not my parents' job. Like, they want to be able to challenge themselves, they want to be able to grow, and they want to do something innovative and like fun and make a difference. So.
Our next priority is entertainment. A lot of what they were saying is they needed somewhere to go, like after work, and somewhere to socialize with like the people of the community. So we said like businesses should stay open for later hours until people like got off of work. Somewhere convenient to go after work, of course. And they also said that they would like diverse and healthier food options and activities for children within the community, indoor activities that are like connected and unique.
Yeah, indoor activities were a big thing. They said that like in the winter and like when it's not good weather outside, they didn't have any options. So that's one thing they really wanted, was somewhere that they could go anytime that was indoor.
And our last priority is beautification and upkeep. This was like attractive. They said they wanted attractive towns and buildings to look at, like when you're exploring your community. And this like consists of public art, displays, and actually like constant upkeep in all areas. Maybe this can be like replanting flowers or like picking up trash, simple things like that. And they also stated that accessibility is very important. Like stores, work businesses should all be centrally located in one specific spot.
And also like unique things, like something that can be unique to Martinsville that you can't really find somewhere else, was something a lot of people stressed. So another thing that we kind of learned through this internship is that we feel that there's a huge miscommunication and kind of blocking communication between young professionals and the older generations. So like, for example, the first week of the internship, we all kind of discussed like what we would like to see in the community, and one thing that came up was like more modern jobs. So we kind of talked about all the jobs that we have here. We were like, they're all manufacturing jobs, so like a sweatshop, a slimming line. Like, I don't want to work in that. Don't think they want to work in that. So like, that's kind of what we had in our minds. That's what we see in all the movies, everything. So we came to the staff meeting, we talked about it to the staff, and they were like, have you ever been to a manufacturing plant? And we were like, no. So they're like, well, why don't we go to one? So they actually took us to Solid Stone Fabrics, and we kind of saw that it's not like that anymore. There's a lot of technology-driven manufacturing plants, and there's jobs that we do want. We just didn't know were there, like graphic designers, engineers, etc. So that is one huge misconception, because a lot of other people that came into our interviews and on our survey said the same thing. We couldn't really tell them that that's not the case, but we were like thinking like, okay, we agree with you, but this is something that needs to be addressed. So we kind of talked about that could be a conclusion from this data and this project, that there is a miscommunication and that needs to be addressed. So some ways that we thought we could do that was through education, so like posting job opportunities on social media and career fairs, hosted at high school campuses and also colleges. Exposure, so like internships for high school students, to show them that there is a job that you would want here. And it might be at a manufacturing plant, but if you want to be a graphic designer, you can work there. So we thought that would be really good. And also engagement, so in-person relationships with young professionals in the community, get those people engaged. So the 3 E's, I guess. And also another conclusion that we came up with was that young professionals have to be involved. This cannot be a one-time project, and it can't even be like an every other year project. Young professionals have to be involved in every stage of all the decision-making in the community, because they are the future of the community, and if we don't get them involved now, they're not going to want to move back here and be involved because they feel like their voice is not being heard. Because they're the future. So some ways that we thought this could be done are advisory boards made up of the young professionals, like the Harvest Foundation has the youth board, but maybe even a board a little bit older than that when people are in college and graduating college and starting families, buying houses, to get that real life experience there. Community engagement events aimed at young professionals and what young professionals do want, and that needs to come from the mouth of young professionals. They need to tell you that that's what they want. mentorship programs for young professionals, maybe a contact person for young professionals moving into the area, or just young professionals who want to know more about the area and what we have to offer. And more modernized resources that are aimed at young professionals to show them what Martinsville-Henry County has to offer. So those are our strategies to get young professionals involved. So some of our takeaways, Kendall Cope was an intern too, but he had also a job at the vet's office because he wants to be a vet and he's going to take care of our dogs and cats. But he said that he believes there needs to be a larger support for businesses and activities that we have locally, and he hopes to see more young professionals provided this support and have a larger role in community making decisions.
And my biggest takeaway was from the song was being able to know that we have a great chance of being able to making a big impact on our community for the better and making better relationships throughout the project.
My greatest takeaway from this project was that young professionals do need to be involved in the decision making in the community, and they are in the future, so communities need to be planned for them.
My biggest takeaway of the project is actually finding out that young professionals actually want to get their voice heard. It's just like the important part in receiving their insight and getting them to voice their opinion is like how you approach them. So.
And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, you can email us back at the email that you received this video from. Thank you.